Facebook to catch up. It's swirling around, whatever. Hello. Just waiting for a few others to join. We got the Facebook going. We have the Instagram going. Hello, Amanda. I miss you so much. Super excited to see everyone. Hello. East Coast WineX, I see you. Appreciate your support on the gram lately. Super duper. What up, Casey? I miss your face. Chad's Ford Winery, our neighbors. Hey, neighbor. So I'll go ahead and get started. Oh, hi, John. I miss you. I miss that laugh for sure. Well, I'll go ahead and get started, and then, people can catch up. So my name is Rachel Kewen. I am our sales manager and our sommelier here at Penswoods Winery. And today we are going to talk about Chambourcin, our little local hero. So before we get started, just a little bit about these tastings and how we do things here. So every Sunday we announce our Quarant Wine of the Week. So that'll be our 10% discounted wine from Sunday to Saturday. And you can pick up that wine. We'll also do a little cheese pairing. You can grab that and then taste along with me every Wednesday. So again, 10% off now until Saturday. And then if you're a club member, that's on top of your membership discount. So it's a pretty rowdy deal. You better get on that. Just a few other things. Going to be announcing a super fun collaborative tasting event we're putting on with a fun local wine bar in Philly. I'll save that to the end. Don't want to give it away. And get you a little more up to speed on some of the developments in the vineyard, how we started prepping to plant some vines. Super excited about that as well. So anyway, we'll get into Chambourcin. So Chambourcin is a relatively new player on the scene. It was created by French biochemist Johann Sauve in the 1960s. Its exact parentage is unknown. Most likely comes from a Siebel hybrid, but even that is kind of vague because viticulturist Albert Siebel created like 16,000 Siebel hybrids in the 1800s. One of those, which was actually used to create Traminette, which is another wine we make here at Penswoods. Fun fact. And he made so many, which is also, I'm digressing a little bit, but it's also very interesting. It was mostly, all these hybrids were developed with the intent to rebuild the European wine industry after its decline due to the phylloxera epidemic in the 1850s. And the goal was to match the natural disease-resistant American vines with the more refined taste of European vines. And so all these hybrids were made during that time, and then later continued by people like Johann Sauve, but eventually, they're just grafting European varietals onto American rootstock, which saved everybody, and the rest is history, and that's something that's still done to this day. So, but back to Chambourcin. One of the most interesting things I think about Chambourcin is that it is a Teinturier, which means that it has red-tinged juice. So most red grapes, actually, when you squeeze them, they produce a more clearish, like grayish liquid. And then the color of the wine actually comes from the skins of the grape itself. That's why sometimes you can find, for example, like a white Pinot Noir, which when you first see it, you're like, what? White Pinot Noir? But that's why it just didn't have any skin contact. Teinturiers it's a natural mutation. Although it's rare, there are some more up-and-coming varietals becoming more and more popular, like Saperavi, the Georgian varietal, which if you haven't had that, super like savory, spicy, nice black fruit and licorice. And also what used to be popular around Prohibition was Alicante, which was actually heavily planted in California at the time. exported to the East Coast. And because it was a Tenturier with that red juice, you get so much more color in the wine. So they used to make wine with that. So when they diluted it, it wouldn't detract from the appearance. So that's kind of a little bit of history behind Tenturiers, and kind of they're very, very interesting. And Chambourcin's one of them, and just beautiful, beautiful color on the grapes. Oh, hi, Greg Jones. I miss you. Miss you and that smooth voice of yours. Those sweet, sweet jams. Hey.
Oh, hey, Greg Jones.
Hey.
We're popping in to steal some of your cheese.
Oh, I know. It's such good cheese.
Go ahead.
Here, you want some cheese?
Miles, can you say hi to everybody?
Nah. He's being shy. We are live. It takes a while to get used to. Not everyone's a natural like I am. Anyway, so
camera shy, you know.
So hybrids are sometimes dismissed by wine snobs, you know, and particular, like sometimes people describe Chambourcin as, you know, foxy, which is a nice way of saying, you know, they think it tastes like shit. But I know from experience, most especially from what we do here at Penns Woods, that in the right hand, Chambourcin can produce a wine that's every bit as enjoyable as a European varietal. And a well-made Chambourcin has all the acidity that pairs just as well as Pinot Noir, with the most intriguing layers of flavor and nuances in the nose. And it's just one that I really especially love to smell. I remember the first time I had Chambourcin, I think I smelled it for like a full 5 minutes before I even tasted it. And it's just one of those ones that you just kind of discover over and over and kind of go back in layers. And Chambourcin, you know, we do a drier style, but it can be made into sweeter styles with more moderate residual sugar. There's sparkling wine I've seen Chambourcin be made into. So it's very, very versatile, very resilient grape. And it is actually kind of like a vineyard manager's dream. It has a very thick skin, makes it highly resistant to a lot of fungal diseases. It's a very, very productive crop. You can get anywhere from 4 to 6 plus tons per acre. Carly's stealing the cheese. And actually, one of the reasons, because it's so productive, it can sometimes produce weak fruit. So definitely in the vineyard, you have to manage that overproduction. You can do that by removing excess clusters. That allows the plants to basically put all their energy into ripening fewer clusters, produce more full flavored wines. It grows well in humid conditions. When it's dormant, it's resilient to even the harshest cold winters. It tolerates a wide range of soils, although it does prefer a lot of shale, like rocky soil and sun, like, you know, every vine everywhere. It can be sensitive to drought, but overall, I mean, very, very hardy grape. Produces these beautiful bluish purple grapes, kind of like loose, medium-sized berries. And you'll find it planted. It's kind of like the local hero. You'll find it planted all around the mid-Atlantic, but also you'll see it in northern New Zealand, in Australia. It's actually very popular to blend with Shiraz. And then also in the Loire Valley, where it was actually invented. And it's been the third most planted varietal in the Loire Valley since the 70s, where they mostly use it due to like AOC laws. They can't put it in like their, you know, designated wines, but it's very, very popular, used more for table wine, but some of those laws has kind of held back its potential, in my opinion. But overall, the character, very mellow tannins, nice high acidity, which makes it a fabulous pairing wine. We'll get into some suggestions more later. Tons of red fruit, variety of red fruit, blackberries, or cherries, strawberries. There's like some darker fruit, blackberries, very herbaceous. We age ours in French oak. It is often aged in oak to get a little more structure, a little more tannin, kind of improves its ageability. It also gives it more of like an earthy tobacco with like hints of vanilla. Again, like I mentioned earlier, highly aromatic, super, super strong, like woodsy, spicy, earthy notes, beautiful deep color from being a Tenturier. That word literally means to dye or stain in French. And that's what it does. Like the color is just outrageous. I mean, look at that. It's so, so dark, but then it tends to be like more light to medium bodied, so it kind of switches it up and surprises you. And if you like, if you like Pinot Noir, Chambourcin is really right up your alley. It's similar in body, has that really nice earthiness to it. The complexity's insane, and it is just a pretty, pretty little grape. So, hey, Cara, you want to come and taste some wine with me?
Yes, obviously.
Obviously. Duh.
Ugh.
The Cara's going to come
Cheers.
taste. I know Chambourcin is one of your favorite wines.
Chambourcin is one of my favorites. I like the earthiness of it. I like how it's Pinot Noir-esque. That's the best way to describe it in my book. And I really enjoy its kind of barnyardy funkiness.
Yeah. It's like mushroom, forest floor,
yes.
like very.
But still has that really nice kind of cranberry.
Yeah, still a lot of like bright red fruit. The vintage we're tasting today, the Chambourcin 16, has a lot of dried herbs, some oregano, sage, and again, a lot of that bright red fruit, some pomegranate, cranberry, some brighter cherry in there, and just smooth. And this is one of the ones we really recommend if you decant it, or it's even like you open it, you drink it the next day, the day after. We always say like next day Chambourcin
is the best. Yes. It opens up, and it's not that it gets bigger. I think that the finish gets a little bit longer. It's more of a full wine, but the layers of the flavors you can really start tasting after 24 hours of being open. Oh, I love this wine.
But nice earthy tannin, smooth. This particular vintage has a nice airy finish. This is 13.5 ABV, 14 months in French oak. Not something we grow ourselves, but the vines we do get these from, they're about 20 years old, and the producer takes very, very good care of them, and you can definitely taste that here, the very mature fruit.
Absolutely.
For pairing, again, like I said, like Pinot Noir, because it has that bright acidity and it doesn't have the tannins that kind of combat with it, the pairing options are really numerous. And whenever we do pairings here for like wine and cheese or wine and chocolate or whatever, like we're always like trying not to include
try it because it just goes so well. It's a food
again.
It's a food wine, whether it's, wine and cupcakes where you're pairing it with something a little bit sweeter, or we have the cheeses, or just an easy like dinner. I always say that Chambourcin pairs really well with pizza. And I've been eating a hell of a lot of pizza these days because the kids make me so tired. And, all I want is some Chambourcin and pizza.
Yeah. Pizza. If you want to get fancy, venison, like game venison stew, roasted, like roasted veggies, sauteed mushrooms.
Definitely red pasta.
Like tons of shitloads of herbs. Like get in there with Chambourcin.
Mushroom. In the red sauce, that's really good. Anything with mushroom and Chambourcin is also just killer.
And very like earthy cheeses. You get like the gorgonzola, blue cheese.
God, so good with blue cheese. And candied pecans, if anybody's interested. A sleeping child it pairs well with. That's what my favorite pairing is with any wine.
Sunsets and bubble baths. Alone time. Well,
solo time.
Solo time. Won't get into that anymore. We actually paired it this week with actually one of our favorite cheeses. This is the Gut Esse Mountain Meadow mild cheddar. And even though it is a mild cheddar, there is tons of flavor. Gut Esse, they actually do make a banging blue cheese too. But
they do.
This cheddar, with this wine.
Well, this cheddar it's so smooth. And it actually like adds to the silkiness that the wine already has.
It does. Just slides around in your mouth there.
Yeah, and what's nice about it is the cheese is even a little salty, and sometimes red wine and salty cheeses don't go well together. But this is because of the creamy kind of texture of this cheese. It's harmony.
Yeah, it's like highlighting all those fruit notes. It's banging.
I lost my kids, so cheers, guys.
Cheers. You find those. And I'll wrap it up here. So yeah, just kind of hybrids, Chambourcin. Explore something new, something different. It's local, we're really proud of what grows well here. It's developing kind of its own little cult following, and I think a very underrated, very versatile grape that ages considerably well. I know a few people in our wine club have been popping open those 2010 Chambourcins, and I'm pretty jealous. I might have to grab one myself, but it's really cool to kind of be part of the Mid-Atlantic region and be making Chambourcin, and it's kind of the unifying grape of the region. So here's to all of us in the area drinking Chambourcin and, you know, putting one down for the home team. So thank you so much. That's all for Chambourcin. Oh, and I was going to announce a couple fun things. So we are pairing, this is hot off the press, we are partnering with Panorama Restaurant and Wine Bar in Philly. I will be doing a live tasting with their sommelier, Bill Eckelson, who manages one of the largest wine portfolios in the country. Just an amazing, amazing wine mind. But we're offering a package deal. You get to try our Sauvignon Blanc, Rosé, both from 2019, and our Cabernet Franc Reserve 2017. If you want to pick all those up in advance, we will be doing a live tasting together. Let me check the calendar on May 3rd. So that's Sunday, May 3rd. If you want to pick Sunday, May 3rd, if you want to pick up those 3 wines in advance, it is on our website under virtual tasting. And again, Bill and I will be doing one of those fancy split screen chit chatting about wine and tasting. You can taste along with us. So super excited about that. As some of you may have seen, we are prepping to plant some vines at our Sandy Hill vineyard. We have about 10,000 vines coming from California and New York. Pinot Noir, Cabernet Franc, Cab Sauv, and Merlot. Some of them are at the end of the driveway right now, and Daphne's got to move them. But we've been working hard and prepping at the Sandy Hill Vineyard for the last few days, and we are hoping, if all goes well, that we can plant a vine live here on Instagram and Facebook, so you guys can tune in with that. Tune in and see what's happening there. That's going to be a little bit up in the air. We're hoping for Friday, but it's supposed to rain. But please check in with us. Like I said, live vine planting coming up. Super, super pumped. And again, thank you all for watching this video. Happy Earth Day to all of you. I mean, it's Earth Day officially, but treat Earth Day like it's every day. And thanks again for watching. Bye.